Welcome back to the Morning Blend. For the past 12 years, our next guests have been helping families through the financial aid process. And what they found is that many parents have been focused on saving for retirement, but falling short on paying for college. Chad Harbeck and JW Hyndman are back from Integrated College Planning. What's up, guys?
How's it going?
This, you know, I guess we could say about any time that you're here is an important time, but especially if you have a high school sophomore or a high school junior, there's some stuff you should be doing right now, right?
Yes, there is. I'm really surprised that you said 12 years. I can't believe that we've been doing this for 12 years.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
I bet you've learned a lot in those 12 years, but you've probably seen a lot of the same mistakes that people like me are making as it relates to saving for college, right?
Yes. You know, most people focus on the big R, the retirement.
Yeah.
College somehow seems to be an afterthought, and all of a sudden it's here, and they start looking at the cost of college, and they have that moment in their life that they say, oh,
freaking
no.
out.
Yeah.
What's a mistake that parents make? One is probably not thinking about it and putting too much into retirement, not thinking about the college part of it, but what else?
Really saving in the wrong places, knowing how your assets are going to count on the financial aid form, knowing what your expected family contribution is, because if you don't know that magic number, you're really going to have not any idea of whether or not you've got a fair award or not at the end of the day.
And I want to talk about that estimated family contribution in a second, but one thing that's important for people to know is if they meet with you, the consultation is free, and there are several things that you do as part of that free consultation that really help people understand kind of where they're at and where they need to be to plan for and save for college. So you will calculate and do an estimation of your expected family contribution. I'll let you explain that in a second. The other thing that you determine is whether or not that number can be lowered, which can help get students more money. And then you also establish types of financial aid from, say, the top 3 colleges of a student or a family's choice. Okay, so the estimated family contribution, what is that? Why is it such an important magic number?
Well, I think mostly what we find is that parents don't necessarily know how to just calculate it themselves, or the calculators that they're using online, because there are those out there, they're not necessarily accurate, because they may be factoring in different assets that don't need to be factored into the calculation. So understanding what your estimated family contribution, which is based on income and assets of the parents and the child, the number of family members, the number of children who are going to be in college, and then finally the age of the eldest parent. You have to know all that stuff, and then it gets calculated, and it could be different at the different kinds of colleges, because there's 2 types of colleges when it comes to the filing of forms. And so knowing whether or not you're one or the other is important too, because your EFC might be lower at that other college versus a FAFSA college, which we talk about actually in our free workshops.
What if somebody has a college senior and they haven't even begun to look at schools? Are they out of luck? Is this a problem?
I mean, we've been getting a lot of calls from seniors lately, and the parents or the students and the parents pay pretty good attention to application deadlines. But one of the things that they consistently miss is the fact that there's what they call financial aid deadlines. And the major ones are February 1st is the big number, February 15th, and March 1st. And there's a small number of colleges that are March 15th. So if we miss getting the forms in by their financial aid deadlines, it's going to cost money in financial aid. Mainly it's going to cost money in the grants that they're hoping to receive from the colleges. Do
you have to have a straight A student who is captain of a sports team in order to get a grant from a school? Absolutely
not. There's schools that like the middle of the road students, so there's schools out there that like each type of student that are out there.
Okay. What about if kids have no idea where they want to go to school yet?
That's actually pretty typical.
Okay.
One of the things that we really like to do is we like to proactivity is the number one for us. And so what we like to do is kind of arm parents of juniors, sophomores, freshmen in high school with a number of different colleges. Hey, go on a spring break trip with your kids, check out these colleges, and oh, by the way, these are the colleges that give away a lot of free money. So if they don't get recruited by the state schools like Madison's and things like that, then they could potentially go to a college that's going to be a lot cheaper for mom and dad with a lot less out of pocket, which in turn then would affect the retirement later down the road because there's less out of pocket.
Good stuff. So here's the information again so people can start thinking about this. If you've got a college senior, you really need to call today and not wait. All right, so here again is the information that's part of the free consultation. It's calculating your estimated family contribution, possibly lowering that, finding out about that, as well as establishing the types of financial aid that you can get, say, from the top 3 choices for colleges for your student. There are some free workshops we want to tell you about. They happen from 6:30 to 7:30. The first one is happening March 10th in New Berlin and Germantown, and those are on your screen there. And then March 26th in Hartford and Oconomowoc. Again, they're free. All you need to do is register at this website. It's integratedcollegeplanning.com. And the phone number to call for more information too is 262-574-9242. But if people go to your website, they can register right there, right?
Absolutely.
Which is a great way to do it.
Yeah.
Nice to see you guys. Thank you so much.
Great to be here.